Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some news coming out from Russia. We're going to be talking about the Russian foreign minister. His name is Sergei Lavrov, this gentleman right here in the photo for you. He's recently come out in a statement as of yesterday and told the French government that any military advisors that are sent to Ukraine would be legitimate targets. Okay, so now we do know that the French military is planning to send instructors to Ukraine very soon. We don't know how soon, but I would think within the next few months that they were already planning to send somewhere around 2,000, I believe, maybe more. But I think last I heard was somewhere around 2,000 troops would be sent to Ukraine to start training the Ukrainian military on their land. Okay, and we've also had other countries. I think it was like Lithuania that came out. I believe even Poland was saying that they would do the same. But many of the Baltic nations I know were coming out and saying this that they would start sending troops to Ukraine to start training the soldiers there. So we know that NATO's heavily getting involved more and more as time goes on. I even reported recently that we had some strikes in Russian territory already two times over the weekend, one on Friday and one on Sunday, targeting the Belgorod region. And obviously, NATO's been crossing a lot of red lines from Russia lately, and I'm really surprised to see that so far Russia doesn't seem to be responding to this. Most we really hear is things like this, where we hear that the French military advisors would be legitimate targets. So obviously, it looks like they're going to be allowing them to come in, but they're going to let them know that, hey, you're at your own risk, and we'll start striking your troops whenever they come in. And I would think right away they would try to start targeting them as soon as they possibly can, considering that they're training Ukrainian troops. So I've got an article we're going to be going over here today. This is going to be on France 24. It says French military instructors in Ukraine would be legitimate target, Russia says. French military instructors training soldiers in Ukraine would be a legitimate target for Russian strikes, Moscow's top diplomat said Tuesday, amid reports France could send trainers to the country. So this came out yesterday. The date is wrong on here, but it's supposed to be dated as of yesterday, so it would have been June 4th, 2024. France does not officially have military personnel assisting or training Ukrainian forces in Ukraine at the moment, but Kiev said last week it was in talks with Paris on the issue. Whoever they are labeled as, whether they are members of the French armed forces or just as mercenaries, they represent an absolutely legitimate target for our armed forces, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told a news conference. The Kremlin similarly did not rule out strikes on foreign instructors in Ukraine. When asked about the issue earlier on Tuesday, any instructors who are engaged in training the Ukrainian regime do not have any immunity. It does not matter whether they are French or not, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters in a briefing. So even Dmitry Peskov coming out and reiterating the same thing, telling the French military that if they come into Ukraine, they will not be immune to strikes. And like I said, I would think Russia would go after them right away. Most likely we'll see that. And what would be the response from the West if these French troops or really any other countries that get involved, let's say Lithuania, because they were talking about it recently too. Let's say they go in and they get struck. How would NATO respond to that? Would they just kind of consider them as kind of like, they're on Ukrainian land, so you're doing this at your own risk, or would they see this as a strike on NATO itself? I'm not sure how they would respond to that, so we'll have to see. Ukrainian Army Chief Oleksandr Syrsky said last week French military instructors would soon arrive in the country, a claim that was quickly walked back by Ukraine's defense ministry. Posters appeared on a bus stop outside the French embassy in Moscow on Tuesday that read, "French, do not repeat the mistakes of your ancestors." They featured a black and white photo of a soldier in a beret with a French tricolor on his arm and claimed it represented a Frenchman who had fought against Russia on the side of the Nazis. Moscow has repeatedly advanced baseless claims that the regime in Kiev is neo-Nazi and says it is fighting to liberate Ukraine from fascism, narratives rejected by Kiev and in the West. French President Emmanuel Macron has refused to rule out deploying troops to Ukraine, despite reluctance from other NATO members and furious condemnation from Moscow. Russia has warned against such a move, arguing it would dramatically escalate the conflict. It has repeatedly vowed to destroy Western military hardware sent to the country. So, yeah, obviously, Russia's got to respond to this at some point. And like I've been mentioning, there's been just so many red lines here that have been crossed in this war in Ukraine. And we don't really, we don't see Russia respond the way that we think they would. They've come out and done like nuclear drills recently too, tactical nuclear drills, that is, near the Ukrainian border. And they've told the West not to get involved in Ukraine. Don't send troops over here. That'd be a red line. Don't strike our territory. But then we see that happen, and Russia doesn't really respond, which I think is very interesting. And it's starting to make it appear as if Russia does not, they don't back their own word. They're not serious about it when they make these kind of claims, which in my opinion are very serious claims, especially when we're talking about nuclear war. So that's why I wonder if one day Russia will actually react to this, but maybe they'll react very aggressively and at a time where people least expect it too. It'd be an unexpected attack. So let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update, though. Just wanted to get this out there, too, and let you know that it looks like Russia's going to be striking French military advisors in Ukraine as soon as they start coming in, and that they will be legitimate targets. So share your thoughts and concerns down in the comment section. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.